Welcome to my very first podcast. It's my new hobby. Just figured out how to make a video. See if this all pans out. So, my blog is basically, I'm just going to talk about what I really love, which is music. I like to find bands that are, about to hit the indie scene in a big way. Like honorable founding fathers such as Mumford & Sons, Modest Yahoo, and even Modest Mouse. And in dropping those names, it's for telling you of the genre that I'm going to begin with for my initial podcast. So, I'll give you a few in this Maiden Voyage so you can test my theories just to make sure you want to take my advice on if the shit I listen to is maybe close to the shit you also like to listen to. So right now we're listening to The Antlers, I Don't Want Love, from their 2011 debut album, Burst Apart. The song immediately grabbed my attention. I feel like this is a really good track for them to include for the starting of the album. And in this song there's something about Peter Silberman's voice and how he seems to painstakingly get his words out. The basic and simple melody reminds me of U2, and in keeping with the tradition of U2's kind of like layout, the Antlers possess the ability to take that soft melody and get it to jam in a still vibrational rock way, as right now. I also like in this song how the higher octave Silberman takes your ears to a dimension where angelic songs play. Rare for a man to do, sing like this. Radiohead's OK Computer and this Antlers album could have once been passing lovers in the night. So, individually that song, I Don't Want Love, shares similarities with time-tested love ballads such as Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. The song screams put me in some romantic movie as the background to the kissing scene. Anyway, getting on. Getting an album with 3 or less good songs is a lot like getting a lotto ticket, where you win a ticket, but then that next ticket, you get nada. So, I don't really deal with those albums. The bands I share are only those that have multiple individually good songs, plus the band must possess, in my humble opinion, an album that is good from beginning to end, because that is a feat to write about. And it rarely happens. Kind of like it's a band's unicorn. So I feel like with the Antlers, in holding true to my own musically guided moral ethics, I do believe that the Anthem's Hospice album is their unicorn. Felt like it's pretty stellar all the way through. It's a different beat, different vibe. Still has that melancholy sort of whispering lyrics, if you will. They definitely stayed with that. So Silberman, founder and lead singer of the band, in an interview described this album as the story of a relationship between a nurse and a mentally ill person. Deep analytical shit here, folks. Those that love bands not just for the music, but also in conjunction with the lyrics, is gonna find this just as good as the album 13 stuff by Perfect Circle. It carries this story throughout each and every song that takes you through a trip in the singer's mind, if you will. It's poetry with a musically colored backdrop, if you will. It's very emotionally spiraling, almost soul-torturing confession of a love ending in angst for him. It's a very emotionally driven album. It almost seems masochistic to keep listening to it, but yet the perfection of the combination of instruments just keeps your brain engaged. Feels some sort of like brain food. This is a good album. You can tell. I dig it. Kind of give you a little bit more. Kind of travels through. Sounds a little slow of a starter. So that's pretty much the first 4 tracks of Hospice by the Antlers, and I promise the rest is just as good as the beginning is, and I hope you'll give it a listen and respond back to me about how you felt about it. So I'm going to move on now to my second suggestion, my second review, which is Trampled by Turtles. Those that despise folk type music will already dismiss this suggestion, you know, and fine. But I'm telling you, don't be surprised when you're in a bar and track 7 of Trampled's Blue Sky Black Devil album comes on and you find yourself wondering who this is. So let me just kind of have you listen a little bit to that. So this song, it's a lot like Garth Brooks' song The Thunder Rolls. Many won't admit to being a fan of Garth Brooks, understandably, but that particular song, Thunder Rolls, is just so honest and well put together. You cannot deny the sheer power this song evokes emotionally. And I feel like Trampled by a Turtle's song, this song, Written on the Wall, from their 2005 sophomore album Blue Sky and the Devil, evokes the same feelings. Except when I listen to this song, I feel more like I'm in a tornado than I am a thunderstorm. for a seemingly haphazardly thrown together bunch of fiddlers. Oh, did I mention Trampled by Turtles are fiddlers? Yep, fiddlers from the great state of Minnesota. Their sounds solidified their underdog spot at St. Louis's 2013 Lou Fest. And that's not too shabby considering who they shared the stage with, such as the Killers, the National, and Wilco. Come on, folks, like, do I have to continue this argument with names like those? Well, I wrote more about it, so be it. Trampled by Turtles have actually been around for the better part of 10 years, with 6 EPs and 1 live album release. Not one of their albums disappoints. But I'll share with you a few of my favorite tracks, and then of course end it with my favorite album. The song here is titled Whiskey, and with a title like that, who wouldn't listen to it? It's all you would expect it to be. A lonesome acoustic betrayal of love lost and the savior of the almighty Jameson. We've all been there. Whiskey doesn't solve heartache, but we always look to it. I can already see the sausage fest of cigar-smoking males on some random porch, reminiscing about their past conquests. Although that will happen with this song, please don't be discouraged. This song really is a great partnership between the picking rhythms of the banjo with the depression anxiety material hauntingly sung by Simonette. He has a voice similar to that of a young Neil Young, or perhaps a more modern version closer to that of John McAuley of Deer Tick. I really dig the use of mandolin here. You don't hear the mandolin often. It really is a beautiful instrument. So, the last thing that I will share with you with Trampled by Turtles is, as I said, my favorite album from beginning to end, which I love their album Trouble, released in 2007. The whole album is a homage to some heartache seemingly suffered by lead singer Dave Simonette. The listener almost sees the failed relationship happening as the album progresses. The album has its upbeat moments, as the beginning of the album is. This album is slightly sappy too, but not nearly as noose-driven as Mumford & Sons Babel. Give it that.
Never write another song again, 'cause they all sound the same, and I should be ashamed, and I'm breaking my guitar as soon as I hear it.
The melodies have a really interesting way throughout the album to be able to waft between slow acoustic haunts to a string-driven, fast-paced battle between the banjo and the violin, or between the mandolin and the guitar. The album easily and almost selflessly ebbs and flows between the two music styles, perfectly in balance, even as it approaches its end. You know? Sorry. It's one of my favorite lines actually in that album. I do talk a bit more in length about this album because I do like it a lot. I kind of took a deconstruction to it, if you will. Perhaps could be completely wrong, but it was my interpretation of the album. And you, if you so choose or care to, read. It's at the end. Just a little wordy. It's a little wordy. So yeah, you know, this album, we'll just go ahead and skip right quick to the ends here because I really like this song. This album pretty much ends with the lead singer unloading his emotional baggage. He leaves this album with a feeling of his soul is tired and it's over, and I'm dropping it, and I'm gonna leave whatever emotional ties is there. I'm gonna leave that to be played out in the notes of the instruments, and then it's on to the next chapter. It's an inconclusive conclusion for an ending of an album, but it was a great theatrical way to end an album, and that's pretty cool. So I know I did promise that would be the last thing that I would say about Trampled by Turtles, but I was doing some research because I actually, you know, there is some conciseness to what I'm talking about. But I stumbled across this song, which I just thought was really cool. Basically, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't let you listen to it. Let me give you a moment to think if you know who this is. I mean, the performers are Trampled by Turtles, but so it's this rare cover that they did in 1987 of the Pixies' original Where Is My Mind, and it's a good one. It's a good cover when it comes to covers. So I'd like to leave you and thank you for watching or reading, whichever you humbly decided to do. I'm pretty excited to have actually been able to post this. So it was a lot of frustration. Kids, pay attention. Computer class. Oregon Trail did me no services. Though I know I will die probably eventually if I end up in the Appalachian Mountains without enough gear. Anyway, this was fun. It was a new hobby. If you saw it, thanks for watching. Maybe tell a friend. I'd like to do another one. Maybe see some more live shows. Saw a pretty good show, Bob Schneider. Maybe I'll do a review on him. I don't know, I'll check it out. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Have a good evening. We need a better catch line, huh? Like a stay classy San Diego. full-on nerdy girl out here. This is a good one though. With the sea. Alright, I'm done. Good night, guys.